people, no one leaves without at least one flavor of each.
I'm gonna give you the kids.
Oh, and there's a mint from the healthcare.
Oh,
We were giving out mints and Tootsie Pops at the health fair.
Well, this is good, yeah.
All right, it's 1 o'clock, ready? Okay.
Hey, don't throw that on.
Okay, good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. It's 1 o'clock. Parks Board meeting, roll call. Let's see, Sean Isla,
here.
Ed Troll.
Here.
Chris Bridges.
Here.
And I need a motion to excuse Anna White.
I'll make that.
I'll second
Okay, all in favor?
it. Aye.
Okay, great. I need a motion to approve the meeting agenda for today. And approve, okay, I need a second.
I'll say it.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Approval of the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make that.
Okay, second?
I'll say it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, perfect. Announcements, don't really have any announcements, other than we have 3 park board interviews today, so we'll get to those in a minute. Go down to public comments, you have 3 minutes to talk about anything park board related, and I always start with those that are on Zoom. Hi, Vita and Dawn. So Vita, I'll start with you, ladies first. Do you have a comment?
Thank you, Kristen. No, I don't have any comment. I just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
You.
I guess that's not parks related, but thank you.
All right, thanks. Dawn, do you have a public comment? You're on mute. If you want to make a comment, unmute yourself. I'll come back. I'll come back to you. All right, so we got a pretty big group today. Any public comments? Raise your hand. No. Going once, going twice.
So,
Moving on. All right, so old business. So, ARPA Park Board request, the Chinook playground equipment is still on here, as you guys know. It is here, it is at the Public Works, waiting for nicer weather in spring, and spring is literally around the corner. So keep your fingers crossed, we can do that in, sometime soon. It is volunteer based, so we will be looking for volunteers. But when we know the weather's gonna be nicer, we can do it in a day. We'll let you guys, we'll put the word out, so just know that's coming up soon, pretty exciting. Parks Board budget request. Oh, I forgot to make the change. Well, okay, sorry, I was gonna change the agenda. I apologize. This really should be under new business, but we'll just talk about it now. We need to start thinking about what we want to ask the city council in regards to budget and what we want to focus on. I think last time we did our presentation in November. And so, we'll need to create an ad hoc committee coming up for that, to put that together in a PowerPoint presentation and get that all beautified and what we want to work on. So we just kind of have to start thinking about that now. So that will be going forward. We'll talk about that in the next few meetings.
can you send us the last one for the,
Yeah, I can email the last one
Thank you.
out. Yep. Write that down. Yes. Yeah. The 2025 RCO grant, we are going to go for the North Bay baseball diamond. Is what we're going to go for. I know that Becky was going to start working on getting bids, but we need to figure out exactly how we want to go about what we want to work on. The grant doesn't open until September, so we have a little time for that, and it's up to $100,000, and it's a no match from the city. We applied, as you guys remember, for the tennis courts from last year. We were not awarded the grant, but we were not awarded the grant because of, based off of socioeconomic, meaning that our city wasn't, our income threshold was a little too high for what they were awarding. Our need was there, just we, make a little bit too much money, our residents in the city, so hopefully we can, get it for the diamond, the baseball diamond,
The
so
window opens in September, you said?
they will. Yes, yes, it does. Sarah, did you grab the park map flyers?
No, I'll run and get them right now.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
No, it's okay. It's fine. It's my fault too. I was gonna grab them, but we did those park map flyers. We handed them out to the health fair, to the public. Great response. We had extras left over,
I have a
so.
few with me here.
Oh, would you mind passing? Thanks. Look at that.
Exactly how many you needed, I'm sure.
When you're not feeling good, you're on the spot.
No, it's my dad, it's my kid.
I love that. Here, pass these around. I'm looking like. So. What I wanted to talk about was, we updated the map again after these were printed, because what I missed was the golf course. Even though the golf course is managed by an outside entity, it is still a city property. And these maps are really for not only residents, but the tourists as well. So I think it's really important that we put the golf course on there. So we did, so we added the golf course. Which is not on this one. It will be on the next set that gets printed. It's golf course is right here. It's a green. But if you look on the map, it down below, thank you for letting me speak over you. It says non-park open areas. But there are other non-park open areas, and I'm not sure if we want to just designate that golf course area as something else. I mean, it's technically non-park open, I don't know,
I think it should be designated as golf course.
just golf course.
Change the
So just change the whole key of that, like make it all green or something, other color.
Yeah, I would do that.
Cause they have other non-park areas, open areas, so. I reached out to Troon for input and they didn't respond, so I'm gonna assume that they don't really care. Yeah.
But if the maps
Uh-huh.
are here for tourists, big part, and our locals, but for tourists too, then just saying this is a neutral, whatever,
Yeah,
it should say golf course, so they know that there's a golf course here.
yeah, all right. I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, well, if anybody has a comment at the next public comment, just let me know. I'm good with whatever, but, so we're gonna be tweaking them one more time. Hopefully the last time, so there will be another QR code, on that, but yeah. We'll see what happens. Anything else on the park map flyers? I thought they turned out I thought they did a really good job. 1,000 of them. Yeah. So I haven't asked the convention center if people have taken them.
They have.
Oh,
Mhm.
that's good to know. All right, moving on. Basketball courts. So super exciting news, the basketball court lights not only are fixed and working, but the timer is installed and it's a 1-hour timer. He can adjust it to have it longer, but he thought, let's just start with 1 hour and see what people, if the feedback is, we want them on for longer at night or when they start using them. The new signage has been ordered. It should be here in a few days. So there's a sign, that says that the light switch is inside that covered area. And then next to the actual light switch tells you how to work it. And it doesn't say that it's on for an hour. I just know it is in case they want to change the time. And then, we will restripe the basketball course by volunteers. Ed and I have volunteered to restripe the basketball courts. The city will give us the paint to do that and equipment to do that when the weather improves. So the basketball courts at North Bay are operational, and the foundation purchased the 2 nets So they're pretty much good to go, which is pretty exciting. Any questions on that? Yeah, okay. Skateboard park lighting and cameras, we're still in the process. Sean, Pease and Becky Leach are not here today. But there's no, there's nothing further with the park lighting and the cameras out there, so we'll just keep working on that.
The kids did say that they enjoy having the broom and the squeegee out there though. They came
Yeah.
to school and talked about it and they said that they've seen it and used it and they really appreciate having it.
Awesome, yeah, we had a volunteer install that, so
Yeah.
that was really great. I'm glad I went by there the other day and I was like, still there, they're still there.
Still there today too.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that, Sean. Appreciate that. Okay, new business. So this is where we do the park board interview. Austin was going to zoom in. I'm not seeing him, or I don't. No, I know everybody here, so. Didn't see Austin, okay. Well, next up is Bill. You're already sitting at the front, so welcome. Thank you for your interest in being in the Parks Board.
Well, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. All right, so I always lead it off. You've already been to a meeting, so I know you've seen.
Yeah, I wanted to show up and see what this was all about.
Yeah. So I always lead off the question with, why the Parks Board? Why do you want?
Yeah. Okay, so my wife and I have always been involved in the community we've lived in, and so after selling and relocating here and finally getting settled in Ocean Shores, I decided it was time to re-engage. I realize the importance of the park board and understand the value that it has for the community and people visiting the community, and quite frankly, I want to be a part of that. I want to help sustain and grow this wonderful asset we have here, so. In a nutshell, that's it.
That's a good answer. All right, perfect. And any of the board pop in and ask questions if you have any questions, go to Chris.
Favorite colors, I mean,
Favorite
come on,
color,
bring 'em on.
yeah. Sure.
I'll ask the same one I always ask every candidate that we've interviewed. What's skills from your previous jobs and councils and things that you've done that you bring to the Parks Board that you think help us succeed?
Yeah, so I was a food scientist for McCain Foods,
I want
so,
to talk to you about that, by the way, I'm a chef.
yeah, I know, and I know, and I kind of want to talk to you about that a little bit. Anyway, obviously, it was the potato division and I made French fries, so obviously I'm not gonna do that. But that culture was very task oriented, so we had to operate within a timeline, a budget, you had to, create a product that was satisfactory to the customer. So we had to work within that framework. And so there's a lot of meetings, a lot of collaboration. I mean, and you go into it without this predetermined notion on how it's gonna be. You gotta open yourself up to new ideas. You have to be smart enough to know the things you don't know. And so, start a project. I mean, the goal is to get a success. Might have to reach out, might have to have a committee to make sure you're on the right track. And so it's kind of the basic framework of any organization. And then I was the HOA president for a while too, so kind of operated in this capacity.
Yeah, so as a Parks Board, we have some open seats available, obviously, and we're looking.
I'm also that's
Yes,
fair.
and we're looking to fill those. But like most organizations, like our Parks Board is, we're not just necessarily looking for somebody to sit in a seat or somebody to manage. We're looking for somebody to participate, somebody to literally get dirty and help out, okay? So how do you fall into that?
Well, we've been volunteering with the Defenders, so we've been out picking up trash for the last, I don't know, long time. And I like that. It's actually rewarding to go out and do something. And you can look, I spend 2 hours out there and you can look back and say, hey, I was a part of that.
Yeah.
And so, no, I don't mind doing that.
So the skate park was built primarily with volunteers.
100%.
Yeah, 100% volunteers, okay? We have upcoming things, the playground equipment that's going in has to be done by volunteers. There's a lot of it is because we're not financially just overflowing with money, we have to get dirty and do the work ourselves.
See, I appreciate that. And I kind of like this volunteer and community involvement too. I think that it's important to bring a community together, so. I heard this, the skate park was a wonderful opportunity to bring all these folks in one, arena.
It turned out way better than I had ever thought, so, but thank you, appreciate that.
No, I like to work. I like to get my hands dirty. I've done all the home projects. I think that Sharon has for me, so I'm kind of at that tipping point where, watch Johnny Carson reruns or,
You've done all the home projects?
well,
Are you sure?
okay, first level home project. She's been working on the second list, but I knocked the first list out. It's pretty small.
husband that didn't have to do. Okay. All right, okay, thank you very much, appreciate that.
I'm good.
You're good, okay. Yeah, I think, what Ed said was, I think that everybody who was involved with the skateboard park can agree that, yes, we just knew that we were gonna build it, but I don't think we really understood that that building was just not the structure. It really was such a community.
Isn't it wonderful though that you bring all this talent
Yes.
together and
Yes.
people to give their input and their skills
Their
and
skills.
you have a finished product. It's great.
Incredible. It was really an incredible, thing for the community at a time that we really needed some bonding, and regardless of that though, we've done a lot with this Parks Board. Chris has been on the Parks Board. I think this is your third term. You were, privy to the last Parks Board, and it's just nice to be part of, just to have a vision, to talk about that vision, to put it on paper, but then to see it through. There's truly nothing more rewarding. And you've done that now for a few parks, and we have a lot more to do. So it's been great. It's been wonderful.
And I'm not brown nosing here, but then when the first meeting, I kind of went in, I kind of wanted to see what it was about.
Mhm.
Very task oriented, everybody's involved and I like that. I like that kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, like Ed said, we need people that are gonna roll up their sleeves and get dirty, so that's really what makes a board functional on any board, so. Oh, perfect, all right, do you have any questions for us?
No, nothing.
Okay, all right, any other questions from the board?
So you are retired, your time is available.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I am retired, so I have time plus.
Schedule with this one.
I don't do a lot of fishing, I don't do a lot of anything, and I realize it's like, gosh, I should have had a hobby because,
Now,
now what do I do?
I totally get it. My wife did the same thing. We were here, retired for 6 months and she said, that's enough of this. We gotta get out and do something.
Yeah,
So she got us involved in everything. I've been busy ever since, so.
yeah, I would agree with that, I'm busier now than I was.
I'm in that void right now, so.
Okay, well, you won't be for long.
I get it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks for the opportunity, I appreciate it.
Next up, Becky, you go by Becky, correct?
I do.
Okay, great, all right, so, start with my same question, which is, why the Parks Board?
I've been involved with parks since I was really young, like 6. We depend upon parks for all of the city rec, baseball, softball, football, everything. I'm a college professor and I have the luxury of being able to teach online and teach from where I want to. And so I have a hobby of camp hosting, and I was the camp host for 3 years in Idaho at their Only Fish and Game Wildlife Preserve. And then I was the camp host for another 3 years up in Flowing Lake Park at Snohomish County. And so I've always been a part of the budgets and the waterways and what it costs. And the other thing I've done is I created and ran 2 relatively large ADA agencies, Americans with Disabilities, and I've been kind of following the Redmond model. Because this is a huge undertaking. There are a lot of grants tied to whether or not you're accessible. And I'm worried that someday it will become all accessible, and we have to have a plan for that. And when you have a rough terrain, that's a whopping big plan. I did look at your documentation. I noticed that we've consistently had a comprehensive plan that I see ran out in 2023 is Is that on the slate to be,
It's almost done.
yeah,
The RCO extended us to June, so yeah, it's actually, I just had a Zoom with them today.
that's a massive document.
Yes, it was.
188 pages.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I was a little more than.
Ours is written in English.
It was like, whoa, but you know, I was impressed because I also looked at the one that expired in 2017. And there's been so much movement and so many changes. I was here, I owned a house here in 2015. And we were a pretty sleepy little town. Then I moved back to Lakewood and came back 3 years ago. And, you know, it seems like we've made some pretty good progress. Parks have changed quite a lot. I'm an avid kayaker and some of the sleepy little places that I used to sneak into are now pretty well developed. And it looks really good. The other thing is I have a history of writing grants and getting them. And then the two main characteristics of granting are sustainability and accountability. So being able to point to and say, this is how we spent the money and this is how we will sustain this. Businesses don't want to donate a lot of money and then just have it go poof and disappear permanently. I've been pretty good at being able to document those sorts of things. And my background is actually in writing, and so I write well. I'm a good statistician. I can usually present things well. And so the parks is a pretty logical place for me.
You did better in stats class than I did.
You know what? I can teach you stats. But they always teach you from a math perspective. If you teach from a common sense perspective.
I still get, I think I'm gonna get higher.
Trust me, math was not my favorite subject, but I like critical thinking.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board?
You answered my question about experience, so I appreciate
Okay.
it.
All right.
So our goal in time, or I think our goal in time has been not just to maintain the parks, but to eventually roll into a parks and recreation, right? So that we can that we can actually make use of the facilities that we have and really get them out there. What are your thoughts on that? And
You know, I think about that all the time because I think we're at the end of a really long treacherous road. And what about that? For me, sports starts early, like 6.
yeah,
And I have the advantage, I grew up in Boise, Idaho, before Boise was a thing. We didn't top 100,000 population and we played neighborhood ball. And we had leagues. And I know that even at universities, we have what we call intramurals. We're big enough to have some intramural baseball teams, and we will call them parks and recreation. We could do some basketball, we could do some pickleball, we could have, and we've got fantastic facilities here. That community center is, I hear people complain about the 100, and I think we're up to $165 a year on that.
175.
Oh,
Till
okay,
April.
whatever. I mean, it's such a nominal fee for everybody in the household, right?
Yeah.
Have you tried to get a membership to the YMCA, you know, another nonprofit lately?
it's about the same amount per month.
Exactly, that's exactly what I was paying for it in Lakewood, so I think we've got all the facilities, we could have some healthy competition, I'm really pro. Especially, you know, not every kid gets to play college ball, right? And not every kid gets to play high school ball.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, that led to me, I played semi-professional fast pitch until I aged out of the sport, and then I coached. We've got to get kids prepared. If they're gonna play a high school sport, get them into something where they learn the competition. But yeah, I'm big on recreation, and it doesn't have to be necessarily competitions. We could teach kayaking classes, we could do
You bet.
I think it would be wonderful if we had a rental fleet of kayaks that folks could float these canal systems with, you know?
Well, that's, I think there's a company opening up here in town that is renting kayaks.
There was, I think they went out of business though this year. Yeah, they sold off their electric boats. I used to live to
Well,
watch.
yeah, no, but across the street, but it was gonna be the canoe. but now I see the sign says electric bikes, so I don't know what's coming.
I don't know, that canal system is the thing that, I didn't realize it was here,
Yeah.
until I moved here, and then it's like, wait a minute, I could kayak all night long and not cover the same area twice.
You got 11 months.
It's 23 miles, actually, 23 miles of.
It's on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 40 when I first did it.
It's 20, and I believe it's 23. Well, there are kayak groups out of Tacoma that know a lot about the lay of the land for these. And I have gotten out there, I like to fish also. I've gotten out there at dusk,
Mhm.
thinking and you're fishing along and all of a sudden I don't know where I'm at. I have a sense of direction, so if I'm ever riding with you and I try to tell you where to go, just look at me and smile. So I've gotten out there and I don't head back home.
There's a lot of little coves.
There are lots of little coves, and if you're just fishing along, you can it's pretty fascinating. I think I have a large supply of cell phones at the bottom of the canal systems because, yes.
Yeah, no, to Ed's point, we've talked about, the rec is lacking, with the youth here. We are reaching out to North Beach School District to see how we can help support that. The kids, if the kids have to go to Hoquiam, if they want to play T-ball or soccer, which is great for those that can afford it. It's
too
great
far.
if you have, it's way too far.
And that road's too dangerous to drive as often as you would need to go for practice and for games.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So we are working with that. We do need to see how, the city can support the youth. So, yeah, we definitely earmarked that, and we know that that's a spot that we really need to focus on. And that starts with maintaining what we have, like the baseball field is not even close to being able to be used, so.
Now it's.
We've got to work on it.
It's
The
gonna be
basketball
used
court was
up,
bad,
and-
now it's working again, so we're working on the infrastructure, so there's.
The skate park looks great.
Yeah.
Hey, is Bill Ellis Park not a city park? What is that?
Community club.
There's a few of them that are community.
Yeah, Ken Peterson's community club,
Oh,
yeah, so. Okay, any other questions? Do you have a question?
Okay.
No, no questions today, okay.
Oh,
That's
my
okay.
back's out. I just-
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. all right.
Not myself.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Anything else? Do
No, I appreciate your time, and
you have any
happy you're here.
questions?
Thank you.
Any questions for us? Well, thank you. Appreciate your time. You guys both welcome to sit right here as we move along. Okay. The ADA swing, so Becky had said that, I know Frank is here. It was ordered, right, Frank?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's here.
so where is that? Sarah, did you pull that schematic that I asked? Well, okay, it was just maybe to Nicole. So, Nicole's out sick today, so Sarah's, subbing in. Well, sorry.
Never knew Eric. His word was so.
And we've had Nicole I feel like Nicole's our new Sarah here, but anyway. So there's the ADA swing has been ordered, so what they found out was the concern that we had was the municipalities that took out the swing after they put it in, it was because of injury to the people standing near the swing. So what they did not do, those other municipalities, was block that off. So, what, Becky and Sean and maybe Frank, I don't know, but they decided to go ahead and just put a fence around that area, so it won't allow people just to run out while the swing's in motion and potentially get hurt. So there's a new schematic, from the old drawing that, Craig did, and so what they're gonna do is on the north end of the parking lot where the old swing was and where the parking lot is going north, they're going to add another ADA parking stall. And then they're gonna have the concrete pathway, well, it's asphalt right now, so they might just leave that and then add the concrete, so to the left, closest to the lake side, that's the west side, that's where the ADA swing is gonna go. And then across from them to the east side. She has it right now, the schematic going running north and south for the new playground equipment, the swing set. And we had talked about taking out that blacktop with the half basketball court. I think Frank, you want to keep that, correct? Okay. So Frank wants to keep that. Might have, the only thing I'm concerned about is if they're playing basketball, how the layout is right now. We just might have to take a look at it. But how the layout is now, if they're playing basketball, will that basketball, if it gets away, will that run into where the kids are swinging and playing on the playground equipment? I don't know without going out and marking it out. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just I think it's pretty cracked though, right? That asphalt there?
It's in pretty good shape.
Isn't it
Yeah,
pretty good
it's
shape?
okay.
Okay, oh,
It can
good.
be resurfaced and, you know, paint that,
Did we strike it?
back stuff, and
Okay.
restripe it.
Okay, so, okay,
It looks too good to throw away.
it looked too good to throw away. Okay, all right. So maybe we might have to tweak some things a little bit. But that's where we are with that ADA swing, so that'll be a great addition. I'm fantastic.
Did you talk to other towns that actually fenced it in and know it?
Becky did the
Okay.
research, and that's just what she reported back to me, as a matter of fact. So she just said, she's gonna have an engineer do another workup for the layout and the cost to add that. That's basically what she said. So, there's that. All right, moving right along. Wow, you guys are gonna get done early today.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
It actually goes back a little bit further to, the installation of the new playground equipment.
Mhm.
I know it is primarily gonna be done by volunteers, but
Mhm.
there's prep work that has to be
Mhm.
done, right?
Mhm.
Before we even install that, right? There's digging out the area,
Mhm.
you know, putting shavings down, whatever it is, that could be rubber down, whatever, and preparing for that. That site work has to be done first, right? And
Mhm.
that is not done by volunteers. is
Public
it?
Works.
Public Works, okay, so, and again, we won't get started with that really until we have some clear weather, right?
Yeah, they can probably start the prep, sooner than later.
Yeah, so, okay, because and as far as the swing, I think it would be frivolous for us to discard the swing if we have this opportunity to get it. You know, it's just one more thing to make our parks a little more.
Absolutely.
You know, so we can tweak things as they go along and see how it works out. And in worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but it's better to try than not
No, I
try
think
at
it's
all,
great.
right? So, okay, that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so reports. So I attended the health fair, on behalf of the Parks Board and the foundation. It was really well attended. I saw a lot of faces there. And they seemed to love the park map. It was funny. I had some feedback from some residents that they're like, oh, I know where all the parks are. And I said, you do? Better than me. And so, then they would name some other parks and I'm like, right, nope. But we were next to community club, so that was kind of funny. I'm like, nope, that's them. So I think that we have a lot of parks. Going through this comp plan, we have a lot of little pocket parks, undeveloped parks, not that we know, but we have quite a few. So I think that people are gonna love it. We did have some feedback. The other side was the moped rental place. And they wanted all of our maps. I'm like, no, I don't think we can give you all our maps. But I like how you think. But what I thought we could do is just enlarge a QR code and give that to the moped places and then people can just put it on their phone. Because they don't need the map when they're trying to look, but they always have a phone, right?
The
But
QR codes for.
Right, so absolutely, I said, I can absolutely get a QR code if needed, you can just, hang that in your moped place, and there's a couple of moped places, there's bike places, wherever, so. I'm definitely, once we get the new map, QR code with the new map, I'm gonna do that for them.
And all the front desks at the
Well, the hotels,
lodging.
so Yeah, so, that was the other thing. So, the foundation applied for ARPA funds for that $50,000 the city is offering to nonprofits. So we submitted an application for the triples, for 7,500 triples, I think it was the amount. And then we'll see, I don't know whether, Sarah, do you know when they're going to do that?
No, we'll start working on that today, now that everybody's been appointed,
Oh, okay,
process and
okay.
meetings and what have you.
Is there a timeline for that?
Nope,
No, time, okay.
we could do it at the end of the year.
Oh, great. Do they have the time?
I don't think so. But I know it's soon, like they wanted to do it and then like 2 weeks after appointment and things.
Okay, all right, perfect. I attended the Parks Foundation meeting last night, and I am still working with AHBL, which is the company that we've contracted to do the Parks Comp Plan. I just had a meeting today that involved the planning commission because they're working on the biking and walking, and so I wanted to make sure that that was into the comps plan. And it was a really good Zoom today. Because the plan, as you guys know, the planning commission did the outreach, and so that information is going into the comp plan, which is going to be necessary, because you're gonna want to get grants, so that's all coming together. And actually, HBL is very close to being done with it. So, we had the mayor, myself, and Scott Anderson had a meeting with North Beach School District last week. Unfortunately, it needed to be rescheduled. It was a mix-up at the time, so, I'm waiting for Dr. Shank and, Jeff Albertson to get back to us with a time. And we just want to talk to them about how the city and the school district, which we talked about earlier, how we can help support North Beach School District, maybe see what we can do. So we'll get that going on another time. That's what I've been doing. So, and is absent Chris.
Well, I spent a couple hours at the Health Fair with you.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, that was
Appreciate that.
interesting. Anyway, and then I wanted to pass this around, or you can look it up in your own community club paper. There's gonna be some action at North Bay Park on April 9th, and I thought that was kind of interesting. They're gonna be working with water robotics. So
Oh,
you can pass this around.
okay,
You guys can't take it.
cool. But the Parks Board can help.
Yeah,
promote
there's a
that.
contact number on that. So,
Oh, great, okay.
yeah.
I'll reach out to them. We can put it on our Facebook page. Oh, that's really cool. All right, bring that back up. Okay,
And that's about it for 5 parts.
Ed, you're up.
Oh, okay, well, before I get started, I'm in awe of you guys coming in here, and offering your time here. And it makes me feel kind of bad to tell you right now that I have made a hard decision that I'm not going to re-up with the Parks Board for another 2 years.
Oh, and.
I know, there's just so much going on in my life right now, and it, you know, it's, you know, there's a certain amount of people who step up and all of a sudden they're in everything, and that's kind of where I'm finding myself right now, so. But I am still on the Parks Foundation, I have no intentions of walking away from
That's
that,
good,
so
though.
I'll still be working closely with the Parks Board, through the foundation. You always have my support, you guys are an awesome board,
We
okay?
know how to reach you.
Okay, yes, you know how to find me. Kristen has been awesome. I respect this woman very much, and along with all of you who have given your time and support for this. We've accomplished a lot. We've
Yeah.
accomplished a lot in the last.
We're just getting started.
And we're just getting started, but March 9th, I think, is my last day, so this is my last meeting. I will miss being here. This has been a big part of what I've always cared about, big part of my heart. But I just need to slow down on something, so, unfortunately, this is where the choice went, but it looks like I'm leaving in good hands here. I'm pretty impressed with what I heard today from the 2 new people here, so. That's all I have. I was at the Parks Foundation meeting yesterday with Kristen, and we will continue to do that and work for our parks and our waterways and our green spaces in our community the best we can.
So yes, so thank you, Ed, for your time, and Anna's not here today, but yeah, you guys have been instrumental for this sport, so thank you very much.
I'm still looking for helping out, putting that
Oh,
playground
I'm gonna
equipment
drag
together.
you to the.
You know,
yeah.
painting the basketball
I'm dragging
courts.
you kicking and screaming to the.
Yeah, so no problem. I may not sit here at this meeting, but I'm still here at heart and physically.
We need to clone you.
I don't know about that. My wife wouldn't, you'd have to talk to her. She may give you some inside information.
One's enough, right?
One's enough.
Usually one's enough, yeah, usually one, I'm sure, well, he's gone, so he probably would have agreed. Sean,
Yeah, I just have a couple ideas. We were talking, you and I had talked
Yeah.
a couple times about stuff. So now that the city is in charge of the golf course, and Frank, you listening here is perfect for this. Can we create a children's summer golf program that's ran by the city? Because we run the golf course now, and I'm willing, I love golf, I love teaching golf, and so I'd love to be able to instruct that. But I'm off in the summers, and I know it would potentially take off, you know, tee times that they would make revenue on. But if we could do it like once or twice a week, I think it'd be a really cool idea to
Yeah.
get a summer program, as you had talked previously, for that. So I thought that was a good idea, and I'd love to be able to pick your ear and we can make that happen.
Yeah, we'll do that. I like that.
And then the other one was for the Parks Foundation.
he's,
I've already talked to the golf pro about junior golf.
Yep,
Already have a fund set up with Community Foundation, Grace Harbor Community Foundation, John Hasbrook Memorial Golf Tournament fundraised years ago to help fund junior golf. So he already is aware that there's money, a little bit to help, and he's already a person that has run junior golf at a few courses over the last 30 years.
Up and running.
Yep.
He'd be good at it.
Did that a couple weeks ago.
okay, so did you set up a plan of how to make it happen this summer?
Absolutely not. Just the idea,
Perfect,
and showed him where some money was, and
so you talked
yes,
to
following up would be important now, but I wanted to let you know there's groundwork set.
So Ron, you said?
Ronnie Espinal.
well, that's
Great money,
great,
I get.
great idea.
Yeah.
And the other thing I talked about is a potential fundraiser for the Parks Foundation. Why can't we do a community feed at the skate park?
Yeah,
I'm willing to cook an entire pig, I'll stay there and do the entire thing, but then we come in and you sell a plate of food for whatever people want to donate to the Parks Foundation, and I think it could be a good way for us to raise some money for the foundation.
yeah, we need to,
Yeah,
maybe have, yeah, our next, yeah.
we're always looking for, you know, right now, we're as a foundation, we are kind of stuck between, you know, a business stepping up or IGA doing a roundup or ACE doing a roundup, which we've been working very hard, and we do have some coming up. But we've also been looking at trying to find some ways to not just raise more money, but get us out there. Get people to understand that any donation to us is basically a donation straight to the wildlife or parks. Green spaces.
And I think we can reach out to local businesses as a potential match, like whatever we make with the picnic, reaching out to local businesses and potentially match what we make in.
Or possibly bring them in as sponsors in some way, you know?
We can talk about that at the
So,
foundation.
yes.
meeting.
Yeah, so
Great, yeah.
that would be, that would be really good, actually, sure, let's do that.
Council liaison, Richard Wills, do you have anything for us?
I do, two things. First, I don't have anything from the council, so that's number one, but number two, it's apparent to me, I'm one of those people who don't know really enough about parks. And using that map, I can go drive around and inspect them all. I think it would be more beneficial if one of you people who are more familiar than I, would ride with me and give me the insight. This is where the basketball courts is, this is, yada, 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 whatever it is.
Sure.
And that would just make me better
I've done-
educated.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris knows all the parks.
Yeah, I mean, that's one reason I landed here is because I just loved all the parks. Whenever I come down, I just drive around going, look at all these parks.
So I invite you to write down my phone number and call me when it's convenient. Put on that,
Yeah. Unless that's something up.
unless I've got something else pressing going on, I'm available most of the time,
Okay.
and I would really like that, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So both Becky and Sean are absent, but I already basically gave them. What?
That was.
Oh, Sean P.
Oh, Sean Pease. Well, that was weird. Okay, thanks. Okay, so, park inspection reports, minor fines, Schmidt, Nicker, Henderson are exactly perfect. So, Chris, you have North Bay,
They all went in.
Lynette, and Texmar now. Okay,
Which one, Bill, am I getting new also?
probably we'll have to
Yeah.
redesign some parts. So I'll do that.
But I did the 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, okay, nothing to report back to Sean then, okay. Anna, I did not look at Anna's parks, so usually they're fine, but it's fine. Ed, Emerson Skate Park.
Well, we just got back from Cambodia, so I did drive by, skate park. I'm away here today,
I drove by Emerson and it looked
Okay,
like.
yeah.
It's on
So
my way here.
Thank you, it's, you know, we got back sick from our trip and noticed that everybody here was sick too, I just got for whatever it was too, so,
Wow.
yeah, so, but, yeah. It looks good, the skate park is awesome.
Sean, North End, Grand Canal, and Milo Schneider.
We started to get bigger potholes in North End Grand Canal, and I think that's
Okay.
just a winter time thing.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna continue, we'll be battling that, because people are in and out of that north end all the time. And Lions Club still has the ropes up, I think they're waiting on springtime to be able to finish getting that part finished.
So I actually, Jeff Moyer from the Lions Club, or somebody from Lions Club, submitted to the ARPA. I saw that they submitted an application to purchase playground equipment. So fingers crossed.
I've reached out to him a couple of times and I haven't been able to connect with him.
Yeah.
So,
But I know he did that because I saw the application
Awesome.
online on the website. So, all right, so this is next public communication, another 3 minutes at the end to talk about whatever we discussed, or, so again, Vita, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have anything you want to add for public comment?
No, not today. Thank you, Kristen.
Thank you. All right, Don, do you want to add anything?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed the first one. I couldn't unmute until I approved the recording. So anyhow, interesting meeting and there's a lot of things are being done, as you said, and they're quite visible to the people. So I think that'll be a real benefit when you folks start talking about the budget. And I understand that North Bay Park still has a lot of work to be done. And I hope that's part of the priority list when you come up with it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. Okay, anybody come up in here? Oh, let's get Jane.
So, it's kind of an update and information on North End Grand Canal Park. And I'm part of it's city property, but they had dug a ditch, a drainage ditch that went into the canal, and all the garbage off of J.K. Lewis was running into the canal. So CJ actually went up, cleaned that garbage, and then Sean went out, and so far what he's done is put some rocks in front of there to keep it so it doesn't get to the canal. But it's something that we need to keep an eye on. It's not something that he can really put a grate or anything on, but so far the rocks are kind of filtering some of that garbage, but the garbage ending up in the canal was great there. So just something to keep an eye on. And there's still an alcohol problem in that park too, empty alcohol bottles all over the place and everything, and just.
It's a nice little hideout.
Yeah, well, it's because it's down below, and that's why I asked that picnic bench still has not been moved away from there. I think if that
Okay.
picnic bench gets moved to where it's not hidden behind there, it might solve some of the problems.
Okay, all right.
And then you mentioned Mike and Troon, or you mentioned Troon. Mike and I had a conversation, and I had brought up the parks maps.
Oh, yeah, yep.
About that same time, and he's like, oh yeah, call me, and we'll get it done. So do you want me to reach out to him and,
I emailed him, he
You
just didn't
did?
respond back,
Okay.
but I can bug him again.
okay.
I don't think he's
because-
gonna say no to having the golf course on the map.
Well, yeah, when I talked to him, he seemed very interested in
Okay.
it, so, yeah, if there's anything I can do to facilitate that.
It's free advertising.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's just, there's one sign that says golf course, so any more,
Yep,
it's a benefit to the city in a whole, so.
Bet.
All right.
okay, great.
The CJ she was referring to is CJ with the Defenders of the
Yes.
Coast. And whenever you need help, please reach out to the Defenders. That's why we started the group that we started.
Great, thank
We're
you.
over 200 members now, so.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Is that it then? Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
anybody else? Comment? Yes, Richard.
So as a citizen, not as a council liaison,
Sure, okay.
I am, because of my role as a liaison, I've attended several, of the board committee meetings. And you guys, like the CIC, you guys are just awesome. The amount of involvement, the amount of teamwork and coordination as a citizen, you guys go.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
That's really a lot. Okay, so future meeting is March 13th at 1:00. And it's. What time is it? 1:51, so I need a motion to adjourn. Second,
Awesome.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.